I have been selling this book, Zan Azli and Wan Chun Hong's Guide to Indie Filmmaking, which is published by MPH for a while now. It's a really good book if you want to be a filmmaker, whether it's for YouTube, social media, TV, film, cinema, whatever. This is the book to get. I'm going to make it more accessible and more affordable to all of you because I believe that everybody needs to become a filmmaker. The more filmmakers we have in the world, I think this world will be a better place to live in. Now it's available as an electronic book download on my website. I'm going to link it here. It's really cheap, it's really affordable. It's only 5 ringgit if you want to get the ebook version. Okay, 5 ringgit. It doesn't really cost much, right? It's just a little bit of something for me. I mean, it did take a lot of work to write. Each chapter of this book talks about one part of the filmmaking process. And for each chapter as well, I interview a local filmmaker. It's only 5 ringgit. It's only 5 ringgit. You're watching and listening to the FAT BIDIN Film Club, and I'm assuming I'm Zan Azli.
And I'm Shirley.
As usual, every week we watch a local film and we review it. And this week we're watching a local film and we're reviewing it. And this film is entitled
Tamil School Pasanga.
No, I'm saying this film is entitled. It's an entitled film.
You are entitled.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have watched the film Tamil School
Pasanga.
Pasanga. Do you know what Pasanga means?
No. Do you?
No. That's why I wanted to I was looking for it, but I couldn't find the meaning to Pasanga. But yes, what's the film about?
It's about... The film is about... sorry, very bright. The film is about a teacher who goes to I want to say rural Tamil school.
Estate school.
An estate school. And he's apparently like a guy that likes to make a lot of change. Doesn't really want to... Not to say doesn't really want to follow the rules lah, but he's clearly a change maker, you know. So he goes into the school. The kids don't know how to read or write. They're not very... not to say not very intelligent, but academically clearly behind.
Yeah, and they're also very naughty
and then they have their
rowdy.
own issues.
Yeah.
And then he you know, with his unorthodox teaching methods and whatever, he sort of changes the culture of his class and brings up the academics. And then in between, it also talks about the kind of tensions and problems that happen in I guess rural Tamil school and in an estate lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the film is about.
So what do we think about the film? The film is directed by Shan. Shan is a long-time filmmaker who used to make short films when I was also making short films.
Is this his first feature?
I'm not sure. Actually, I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, he made the chicken curry film. Yeah, No Worry Chicken Curry.
We recently saw it at Seashore.
Yeah, but it's an old film lah. I don't know.
Okay, so I did not like the film. I liked... You can clearly see that there was very deliberate intention in making this film, and it was very clear the things that he wanted to talk about, but there was only one part that made it very preachy, which was the part where they were trying to close the
second Tamil school.
Other school, and then that principal went into that rant about how there's a decline in Tamil schools. It's very hard to open a new one. So
you don't lose any Tamil school licenses.
Close any Tamil schools because already it's in danger.
You close one, it will take a lot of difficulty to open another one. So keep what you have. That's what you were saying, right? Yeah.
So that was the only part that I felt was
preachy.
Very preachy. The rest of it, it was very comical. Sometimes a little bit campy. I feel that was maybe unintentional. It wasn't meant to be so. Comedy. But I liked how it no, not comedy, but there was some parts where it was way too campy because they add the music to make it like even campier. But I liked how it like really went through all of the issues in without making it so heavy lah. It wasn't like too woke or anything.
Oh, it's not a woke film at all.
Trying
That's
to
great,
be
yeah.
a meaningful film. I mean, it's a meaningful film,
But it's
but
not
it wasn't
woke lah.
trying to be like, you know, this is like the film for the revolution or whatever. None of that lah, which I kind of enjoyed. So I liked that it was entertaining or like attempting to entertain. But still also like staying true to the intention and the messaging. So I really, really liked that. The other parts of it, I don't know. I don't really feel like I want to talk about it because I don't really feel like the film was made to appeal to a non-Tamil audience. It can. It wasn't. I didn't not enjoy watching it, but yeah lah. Some of the things I wouldn't get, you know, because it's very nuanced, very, you know, very colloquial. It requires some kind of context, like Tamil language context that we clearly don't have.
So we can't talk about it?
We can talk about it, but I don't want to talk about it because it missed me lah. Basically, like it wasn't for me, and I didn't get it, which obviously I wouldn't lah. So I don't want to talk about it lah. You can talk about it if you want, but it was nice that they put these things in also. You know, I thought it was really cute how they incorporated like, I guess, like childhood estate things. Like there's this whole scene about pooping in the forest, and then this guy, because the teacher is from KL, right, and then he's like, why would you like, you know, like poop in the forest? And then the other teacher's explaining to him like the liberation about pooping. I thought that was so great because it's such a like specific experience that you must have, and they wanted to like share that with everyone, and I really enjoyed it. Overall, it was a very inclusive film. Even though it's a Tamil film, there's a minority Malay girl who speaks Tamil, and there's this whole scene about like, you know, this girl is fasting, so the teacher talks to the class about what is fasting and everything. I really like that. And then they want to get a padang, they don't have a padang, so the padang is owned by like this Chinese chicken farmer uncle. So they go to the chicken farmer uncle with like a translated song to you know, convince the uncle to let them have the land to make the padang. And it's like, I don't think it was done like purposely because we want to inject this kind of like multiculturalism. It just like, it was just there, and it was very cute, and it felt very like natural, you know. It didn't feel super forced lah. Like some films you watch, they like purposely try to force the multiracial bits in it. But this one didn't really have that, you know. And there's always this like trope about Indian fathers or Indian men just generally being drunk, and then they always borrow money because they're gambling or whatever. But they tried to go beyond those tropes. Like number one, they showed you what happens when you have a drunk father. Your education suffers. You know, your parents can't pay attention to you because they're busy working on the estate, you know. And then because of that, these kids, like, some of them just don't go to school, go play at the river lah, sleep lah, whatever. So it brought out all these like little issues, but not in a way that makes you feel like it's trying to preach to you. So overall, it was just to me, it was just like a nice film lah. Could it have been, you know, presented a little bit better or made a little bit tighter? Sure, but I don't know. Overall I felt like it was a nice film.
Good intentions don't make good films. I will always stand by that. Just because you have good intentions in making a film doesn't mean that the film is going to come out good lah, right? But for this film, I don't know. I think it's a decent film as far as issues and individual scenes are concerned portraying these issues, right? It seems like I like it. Like the pooping scene is so, to me, that's like brilliant, right? It's one of the most brilliant scenes in that film, where, you know, the kids explain to the teacher why it's so special to poop in the jungle behind the tree, you know, and the other teachers also, and then this city teacher is like, wow, and he doesn't judge, you know what I mean? He just listens and okay, that's something they do, right? Which I think portrays culture, portrays, you know, nostalgia even, I guess, for people who watch it, right? So that was great. There was so many other scenes in that film too, which I felt like it showed like so many things that the director wanted to get across, and it did come across in these scenes. The opening scene I thought also was really great, where it was this Tamil school, the second Tamil school. They didn't have any students, only had 2 students, and then it was so funny because it seemed like a scene that was coming out from South Park. These 2 weird-looking kids in the middle of a broken like basketball court, and then the Garaku playing, and that's their assembly. You know, and then the camera has this slow pan out. It was so hilarious, you know, and yeah, and there were other scenes too. Like you said, the scene where they perform the Chinese song for the Chinese uncle who owns the land, right? Which was, yeah, I thought that was brilliant. So it was, I like how there was another teacher, you know, the bad teacher, the bad guy teacher. Kishore, Cikgu Kishore, right?
The tuition teacher.
Yeah, the tuition teacher who opens like a side job, a tuition center, and then he gets angry about how, because his new teacher comes and then everybody like
starting to learn at school.
Yeah, they start to learn at school, and then this new teacher and all the other teachers like give free classes at the temple on the weekends, and then he loses like students in his tuition center, and he gets really angry. And you can also see that, yeah, I like that kind, you know, it shows also lah, you know, the conflict between like even the internally within the community also. You know, people like to say, oh, Melayu turunkan Melayu, India turunkan India, janganlah turunkan orang sendiri, kita kena naik kan, that kind of thing. So I think a lot of individual scenes in the film were really brilliant in trying to portray that. But as far as the whole film is concerned, the whole story, that is where it's lacking lah. He couldn't put it all into, I guess the director, Shan, didn't, but it could be intentional. But again, intentions don't mean good film, right? Again, this is just for me lah. Putting all these scenes together it had a very loose narrative sequence to it, structure to it, but I don't think it was done very well, because a lot of the characters also in these scenes, the characters in this movie were very one-dimensional to me, you know. At the very most, also 1.5 dimensions. It didn't really dig into the characters. These characters had potential to be developed, but it didn't come out that way. So, like even the city teacher, right, the new teacher that came to the school, yeah, you have this mother who checks on him when he first arrives, but you really don't know much about him. You know, he's a city guy lah. He likes to do a lot of changes. He's a rebel, likes to break rules, but that's all. You don't see why he became like that. You've got this pengetua also, who's like so a stickler for rules, but actually kind of nice, right? But you don't know where she's from, how she is. This new teacher makes a best friend, that big round, chubby teacher.
The PE teacher.
Yeah, what's his name?
Can't remember already.
He also,
Karti.
you see a little bit when he explains about the pooping in the jungle thing, but other than that, you don't really know the context of his character. You know, he's there to just like support this new teacher. You know what I mean? Then he falls in love with this very pretty teacher who's there
from JB, from Skudai.
Yeah, we don't really know much about her either. You know, so it's like the kids also, they are very much like caricatures. You know, so it all becomes like, to me, the film is like a montage of brilliant individual scenes, and they just stuff together.
Yeah.
You know, and just stuff together. But talking about intentions also, I can see like this film when it was being done. I bet you the filmmakers had a good time. You know what I mean? I can bet you that they had a good time, and I know that they all thought that these scenes and all that and the issues being brought up were matter lah, were significant, you know. Yeah, so that's my take of the film, you know. It's not like, I'll give you an example. I want to pull other examples from, as you know, I want to pull other films to be an example, because I don't really want to categorize this, oh, it's a Tamil film for the Tamil community and only Tamil Indian issues, you know. It's not, because I think it can be very universal. But right now I can't think of any other film other than Jagat lah. right? Because you think about Jagat, right? Jagat brings up all these issues too, but it brings out character as well. You know, the characters in the film in Jagat, it came out, you know, and there's a very tight flow.
The father likes to go and drink, but also because of his work and blah blah blah.
It's a very tight story, right? And done tightly lah. But this one wasn't like that lah, you know. But yeah, the brilliance I've already told you lah about this film.
But I mean, this is not a story that hasn't been told before. Also, this whole like a new teacher comes to a dilapidated school. You've got like freedom writers. Cheryl Fernando's film, was it? Adi Wiraku also did that.
Yeah, but that wasn't so good.
Yeah, and like there are films that are like that, but specific to Tamil schools, no lah. And I felt like this film also wasn't just trying to show this like city guy coming in to make changes for the better, but it was more focused on the issues that they were facing, which by the way he had no resources to also fix. So it wasn't a case of like, oh, suddenly he come only, then he can like make such big. It was really about utilizing whatever the community that was there lah, which was nice.
So like I'm always saying that I hate films that are derivative, even if it's done well. Right? I would rather watch a film that is unique and original and done not so well. Right? And this is one of the films lah. This Tamil School Pasanga. Okay, Tamil School Pasanga. Sure, the issue is not something that hasn't been talked about before, and the storyline also is not very original because it's been talked about many times. But the way he treats the issues, to me, is very unique, and the way he chose to film the film as a whole also. That's no, you know, he's not trying to shoot it in a cliche advertising way. You know, there are no shots that are supposed to be pretty and all that. He's just shooting it as is. You know,
which is how he likes it.
Which is so that's why I think it's unique.
Yeah.
And although I think overall putting the film together was a little bit lacking lah in skill or you know, ability. I don't know, right? I still prefer this film than a polished film that is not original. You know what I mean? Yeah. So.
Yes. So would you tell people to watch it?
I would tell people to go and watch it. Yeah, go and watch it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also will tell people to go and watch it. I think it's it's very very unique, and while not a super tight film, it's still not horrible. Like some films we've seen are fucking unbearable, man.
It's not horrible at all.
It's not horrible.
This film is not horrible at all. Yeah.
It's so nice. You leave with like this like really warm feeling also. So it's a go watch. Go watch it. It's still playing in the cinemas.
It just came out.
No, it came out. Yeah, it just came out. That's true. It just came out. So please go watch it.
Go watch it.
And
you know, but you got to look for the right cinemas lah, because Tamil films don't get a lot of cinemas.
So make sure you go and watch it within this week, because next week it's gonna get kicked out because of already the slew of Chinese New Year films are coming. So
but there are more Tamil films coming out as well. I mean, we used to watch all the Tamil films that come out, but then it suddenly stopped. You know, these Tamil films that were coming out suddenly stopped. But now it's I think there's one coming out next month too, which we should go and watch as well. Because I don't know, I want to be inclusive, talk about all kinds of films, right? And Tamil films is one of those films. But I also feel like I know I don't want to be like a savior or anything, but Tamil films really don't get attention, and they don't get the audience either. Because I'll tell you why, and this is my personal opinion, a bulk of it is shit. But you will find some really good ones, time in the rough, you know. Yeah, so I'm excited to see. Like this year, like I see like a few Tamil.
A bulk of it being shit is not a Tamil thing, by the way. It's
of
like
course, everything. Across the board, you will have bulk of it being shit.
70% of Malaysian films sometimes are shit.
The only thing is, like, say for example, Malay films, right? A bulk of it is shit too.
But they just have a lot of money to make shit films.
No, a bulk of it is shit, and a handful will be good. But because they make more, that small handful is a lot.
Yeah.
Whereas Tamil films, it's not a lot, you know? Yeah. So if a bulk of it is shit and only a handful is good, that handful is a small handful.
Like one or two.
Yeah.
But go watch this one.
Yeah. Alright,
this one is not shit, but does feature some shit.
Let us know what you think. Go watch it, you know? Yeah.
Like this video.
Yeah, so even if you're not Tamil or Indian, go watch it. Right? Yeah. It's not. I always think that it's not the responsibility of the filmmaker to appeal to a wide audience. But if you, as an audience, want to see different things, then it's your responsibility to search it out.
Yeah, and expose yourself, please.
Yeah.
Like the boys in the forest.
But if you don't want to, it's okay. It's your choice, right?
Like the teacher that didn't want to shit in the forest.
Yeah. Okay, so like this video, don't like this video, subscribe to our channel, follow us on all our social media platforms at FAT BIDIN, or go to fatbidin.com to get everything. You've been watching and listening to the FAT BIDIN Film Club. I'm assuming I'm Zan Azli.
And I'm Shoaib Mustaman.